The community conversation about the tournament as a whole, and RNG kind of catching some flack for what are just kind of unfortunate circumstances, and then as well as the fact that now they have to replay extra games when they didn't really do anything wrong. It's not their fault, you know, and to
they didn't set up the server, you know.
Yeah, it's like it's not their situation. It was, you know, they unintentionally, you could argue, you know, had lower ping, it seems like, than the people who were playing against them, and so of course very understandably you have to replay the matches, but it just feels bad for everyone, and I'm definitely hope people aren't mad at RNG for that reason.
So the look in this game though, definitely, as you heard from the desk, this should be their biggest challenge yet. PSG are looking pretty good after dropping their game earlier. Did play already, remember, but of course that game is not reflected in the record, and understandably it has been an RNG win because they haven't lost yet despite the sheer number of games they will play before they even make it to the Rumble stage. But we'll put all that aside for now and get ourselves into this draft. Ari banned, Wukong banned, Lucian banned. No one is surprised. And Gala's going to eat an Ezreal ban, and Xiaohu's going to eat a Twisted Fate ban for his trouble.
I fell right into the trap again. I was trying to pull up their previous game from earlier in the tournament. Again, it's dead. It's like, wait, what did they play again? So I guess we'll just have to see. This is not too surprising. The ban's given away. Xiaohu's TF is disgusting. He's very good about making map plays. I really liked Ox's breakdown of it because coming into the tournament, I remember people hyping up Xiaohu's weak side map movements to cover plays, and that was just like the quintessential example of it. And even though it doesn't always, it's not flashy, it's not gonna make a highlight reel, you're never really gonna see it anywhere other than a kind of breakdown like that. I think it does illustrate one of the things that makes Xiaohu such a premier mid laner, and how mid lane can shine in other ways in the current meta beyond solo kills. This is not Zed killing supports who have literally no gold and bought 14 wards and have boots 14 wards in their inventory like Season 3 days, of course. So mid laners shine in other ways these days.
Absolutely. Center the last ban there, keeping that away from Unified, as Graves going to be the first pick, which is notably a champion beginning with G that is not Gwen, which has been the first pick.
Yeah, I mean, Graves.
A lot of Gwen today, that's what I'm trying to say.
A lot of Gwen today, fair enough. I feel like it's not too much of a surprise given that Bin has a lot of counter picks. Of all the people you probably don't want to blind the Gwen into, it might be Bin. So I can see the deprioritization of that in this specific matchup. And Graves does feel like one of the premier junglers behind Wukong. Has a lot of agency, gets to build the Umbral Glaive, be annoying, do damage, and all that stuff.
Viego there, throwing it back a little as well for Gala. Aphelios is the weapon of choice. There's Nautilus, seen a lot of it today, not just yet here by the looks of things.
So PSG, we'll see if they lock this MF in. You see some cute fan art there. The Press R comp seemed to have worked very well for them against Red Kenids, like we were saying, despite that game only being 28 minutes long. A lot of the games this tournament have been extremely fast, despite having sometimes close early games. That was also one where the game was just exploded, despite, I think they were the goal deficit at the fight, where PSG just landed this insane wombo combo and just executed around Dragon. And so no surprise to see MF Leona locked in with the Graves. If you're going to beat RNG, it's probably going to be with an explosive team fight, not necessarily just like out-laning them or out-macroing them.
Yeah, definitely not that one. Definitely not out-macroing them.
Definitely not out-macroing. Out-laning, you could get a lead, but the hard part is actually closing the game out, as we've seen for a lot of teams. It's just, at some point, you're going to have to deal with them. And so, no surprise PSG's going that direction, but Xiaohu throwing down the gauntlet, taking the LeBlanc, as well as getting double bans for counter picks. You could probably see a Lissandra ban coming in here, I would expect, because that not only works against the LeBlanc, but it also works well with your Press R comp that you're kind of building right now.
Yeah, I really like this, actually. Good positioning of this LeBlanc pick in the draft. Very excited to see Xiaohu's LeBlanc in general. Seen actually a decent number of LeBlanc bans this tournament. There is some pretty nasty LeBlanc players across the mid laners attending this MSI. Vex, though, going to be the first ban here. And we'll see if something like Lissandra follows there. But again, like you said, being able to get 2 bans on top of this pick while you're taking it, really nice bit of positioning.
And a little bit of respect given to Bay's Vex in the previous game. 8-0-2 was kind of the catalyst for that big team fight that I keep talking about. Was him who got that initial reset, runs through the game. Vex is a champion who I think rewards people who can see opportune moments in team fights. There's many skill sets in League of Legends. You know, matchup knowledge, macro knowledge, all these things. But there's one that I think is just like team fight flow. Like, you see the team fight developing, you know what's going to happen next, and you know how to exploit it. That's something that, for example, Faker has exceptionally well when he has those shockwaves and he's saying, I've got them, before he even has channeled the shockwave. You know, like, those are the kinds of plays that a champion like Vex rewards, because you need to know how the fight's going to flow so that when you go in, you can fear them in the right direction and start resetting to the fight.
Yeah, like teamfight IQ, maybe?
Yeah, like there's got to be a better word than teamfight flow, but like that's what it is like you're kind of seeing the future because you know what the enemy team's going to want to do and what your team's going to want to do. Decision
has been, by the way, to just take base comfort off, right? We've seen these picks already, so wanting to not give those away. Nautilus did get banned, by the way. I was curious. Astra and Nautilus are both going to eat it. It could be an Enchanter angle for Ming alongside this Aphelios. But it's going to be set for now, which is a flex for support and top lane.
Yeah, I mean, Aphelios does work extremely well with Enchanter supports. It's one of the reasons that you probably didn't see it last game with the Jhin. Is just, in general, Jhin doesn't scale that well with Enchanters. No attack speed really to benefit from or get a lot of procs off quickly of other buffs. Aphelios can't, but they go with the set instead. Blind top laner, most likely. A little bit different from Bin. But people have been playing it a little bit. I believe, was it Hanabi who played it against Bin? Or was it against Zeus and it was Evie? It was Evie against Zeus yesterday, we saw it.
There's the Lissandra you predicted, though.
I'm surprised they didn't ban it. I thought that was relatively telegraphed. I will say, the matchup is not really even in the actual laning phase since the Lissandra nerf from her heyday. LeBlanc generally can get the better of the matchup in the straight 1v1, and it's more about teamfights and other things as we see. Whoa! Oh. Big old debate right there.
Yep. Keeps happening to us. We'll see what Hanabi wants to take 1v1 up against this presumed set. Vladimir back on the table.
Interesting.
Not the first Vlad we've seen today, which is not a sentence I thought I would say at Game 6.
Vlad into set is also one that we haven't really ever seen on the... Ooh, this might be tricky stuff going on here. Set support might have got a little ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, they're abusing the flex that we did allude to. Would love to see this from Ben Aurelio. It's a very stylish champion. And when you can have the benefit of counterpick, using your flexes very nicely.
You know what?
Here from RNG.
Who was I ever kidding? Bin blinding set?
Teehee.
When he can get counterpick in an actual carry? God, I'm an idiot.
All right, well, Vince Aurelia up against Hanabi's Vlad should be a fun affair in the top side 1v1. So I was going to start by saying, well, if it is set top, we're probably playing to the Aphelios or potentially the mid lane, depending on how they can line it up. But now we can play the top side once again for RNG.
Yep, probably going to be trying to get up there and abuse the Vladimir. The LeBlanc also insane roaming potential. But they honestly have threat in all three lanes for the Viego to try and go to. There's... You know, Aurelia probably has the hardest time doing direct setup herself, but it's just going to be a scrappy lane in general. Obviously, Aphelios can make things happen. LeBlanc has chains to set things up, so Wei will have his kind of pick of where he wants to go, whereas for PSG, it's about surviving, not falling behind in the lane phase, getting to these team fights where your 5v5 can kind of pop off and start insta-giving people, because it's not a very tanky team comp for RNG. If they don't get ahead, you know, Lissandra lockdown, Leona lockdown, damage from Vlad, MF, they're definitely disadvantaged in the 5v5.
Everyone is a big fan of Curse of the set. Bullet Time, the classic MF plus Amumu. MF plus Vlad, not bad. Not as much CC, but a lot of damage if you find the right position.
Yeah, Vladimir is a one-shot champion for sure. If you get into the back line with your alt, charge, EQ combo coming out, you can annihilate people. And the matchup against Aurelia is very good into a lot of range matchups. She's not quite the pure anti-magic damage that she used to be when her W was all magic damage reduction and stuff like that. So it is not like as insane as it was, but pretty much always Aurelia into range matchups that you'll pick her into. She has a good time.
All right, well, we'll see what happens there. It is Ignite Ghost once again for Vladimir. Looking to get a bit spicy in the top lane 1v1, and RNG are spreading out across the rift. So are PSG. Xiaohu's going to meet Bey nice and early. He flips him an emote.
Continue with the boring level 1 storyline that I mean, the emotes you said made the other one good, or the Alistar
that was great.
Spam. I'll give you that.
Like, strategic, I mean, there's an edge you get, but, you know, did you get any kills or vision? No. Did you maybe win a mental battle? Yes, I think so.
Nice little defense there by Wei, saying, hey, get out of here. You saw Jian consider just like running through him, it felt like, to get to the pit to throw the over onto the red buff, but I think Xiaohu would have the inside track, would have got a little dicey, and I can understand backing off there, but a nice little probe by Juhan.
Yeah, is an Ignite on RNG as well. It is Xiaohu's Ignite there for the LeBlanc. Gonna be tough to poke through the Aftershock Lissandra. Bei having TP can maybe help to reset the lane if things get a bit dicey in the early game. But Xiaohu, of course, an exceptional roamer. Not quite the obvious global presence of, say, Galio or Twisted Fate, but expect Xiaohu to get out of lane pretty often once the game opens up a bit.
Yeah, LeBlanc can get priority. LeBlanc can hop walls. LeBlanc is harder to roam on, like you're saying, less tools to assist her, but still has that ability, as you see. A little face check there. A little scrappy in the bot lane as well. Both going the Glacial Augment version. A little set can be one of those champions where we were talking about it. You don't have your Aftershock, you get kind of squishy. If he doesn't get his W to get that fatty shield, then you can kind of blow him up during the CC duration, because when he initially like ease you or something, he won't get that initial burst of tankiness if he trades CC out. And Leona having her W that you can put on preemptively is actually one of the reasons she's the best tank support, is because she can get tanky before she goes in.
Xiaohu going off already. Aftershock proc, which Xiaohu's just going for it. The Ignite's down, looking for a solo kill. He's gonna get it. Xiaohu with a 1v1 first blood.
Absolute destruction there. Wasn't even close. 200 HP to spare for Xiaohu. This is what I was talking about. It's not actually the easiest counter pick for Lissandra. It's an out-of-lane counter more than an in-lane counter, or to pair with a jungler. But Graves doesn't have a ton of pressure early on, and so Xiaohu finds that kill, gets that first blood. It's going to come back to lane in the second here, and will continue to try and run over Bei in the mid lane.
Not going to lose too much either. Xiaohu killed Bei on the cannon wave, so I don't think Xiaohu's even going to lose that many minions as he moves on back. Bei obviously with the priority as he comes back, so we'll have a CS lead, but gold lead absolutely in the hands of Xiaohu as we watch this one again. Just found the chain here.
Yeah, it's just going to be a pretty easy WEQ combo. Gets
didn't even need it, never mind.
Oh yeah, it's level 2. Just, I guess, got most of the QW damage out before the Aftershock came in from Bei, the Ignite. The autos, just easy.
Yeah, and there's the chain. Didn't have it before, has it now. Bei is in trouble. Xiaohu obviously wanting to maximize damage at the level 2 play, so very nicely done. I guess Bei couldn't flash, like, Xiaohu just distorted in melee range. It was like, hello, we are fighting.
Yeah, well, and the wave is like in a pretty bad spot right there for a little bit for Bei. It looks like the wave's finally pushing in, but Wei is moving some wards to try and meet him on this wave potentially, or at least unlock the ability for the LeBlanc to roam. If you preemptively clear out the wards, once that wave gets shoved in, it allows Xiaohu to do some of that famous map movement of his.
Well, Juhan does take the blue, his own blue, as Wei is wrapping around here on the bottom side. Could be a dive angle. Ming landing it up already with the pre-ignite, but Ming low, pops the W, is probably going to go down here. Does indeed die, but Wei gets the kill they were looking for. And now topside, Bin dancing around Hanabi, taking a tower, but there's a beautiful pull, and Bin with a massive outplay, barely dying to the final shots of the shotgun.
Nice answer by PSG, finding that kill on the top side, trading 1 for 1 on the bottom, evening out the kills, shutting Bin down. Kaiwing, Ming, we talked about the squishiness. Nice setup. Tried to flash out, but did drop turret aggro, ends up dropping there. Topside, nice gank. I'm not exactly sure how it was set up, but obviously well played to get him down that low, and Hanabi knowing the edges of how much damage he can take quite well to pull right at the very last second seemed pretty necessary, because Bin was doing a good job.
Had the wave in the right spot as well. Bei there hops the shockwave. Not going to be so lucky if Xiaohu comes back around, and this wave's in a spot where Bei can have to get a little too close if he wants to try and contest, so it's coming in now, so just gonna have to be patient.
Yep. I mean, he's in an okay spot right here. Just needs to be careful about the Xiaohu 6 power spike. Will come in a little bit earlier than his own, given the kill that he got, the extra XP. So might surprise him. Here's this bot lane play. So Ming just wants to start it off, just run straight at Unify, gets that shield out in time, but I'm not sure if there's a flash angle he could have taken to survive. Doesn't really matter either way. Still kills the 80 carry under turret. Here's this setup. Gonna be building up the empowered Q at the same time. Bin's trying to hide behind the turret, which is often what you want to do against Graves, but I think going forward here and playing it proactively was actually kind of a disaster. Like, I thought if he just stayed behind the turret, I'm not sure how Juhan's gonna kill him, but by dashing in and trying to outplay them, he just serves himself up on a platter to get buckshot in the face twice. So I actually think Bin maybe shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, nice wave set up for Hanabi to get the dive happening. Bin perhaps with a bit of an oopsie, does get himself killed as a result. And Hanabi's going to be feeling good. RNG have control of the mid lane, that's for sure. Bottom lane's looking all right. Just a couple of trades back and forth. Advantage on the top side right now, at least. We'll see how the matchup develops here for Bin. Hitting Hanabi there, but again, can't stay too long against Vlad. The little bar under his health bar kind of tips you off to what's going on. Ooh, going for the 1v1 all-in. Mana is way too low, though.
Yeah, mana's low, just throwing it out for some chunk. Hanabi throws his ult as well for a little bit of healing, you know? It was clean.
It was very clean.
It was a clean play with no kill potential, is what I'd say. But I think the touch and go part of this matchup is the mid lane. If Xiaohu can blow this game open, it doesn't matter what's happening anywhere else on the map. If PSG can stabilize the mid lane, they can hit that point that we're talking about with team fights.
Bin's back, just walk back to lane, didn't TP, walking up to Hanabi now. They know there's no ultis, but Bin fancies himself a fight, uses the blade surge, doesn't get a reset, barely finds the stun. We're gonna force Hanabi back now, and again, Hanabi does not have TP.
Yeah, it looked like Bin baited him, thinking that it was a fake recall, actually went into the river, did some vision control type stuff, and then came back into the lane to get behind him, making Hanabi thought he had more time to push that wave out that he did not. Again, not having the ultimate there might have been a mistake, because if he had his ult, maybe he can get the kill. He got enough mana back up, I think, to have maybe done chase down, but he's still doing a good job in the lane, but maybe out of position.
And now they know Bin actually pushed the wave in, but it's going to maybe cost him his life here. Juhan up here with Kai Wing, very nice roam to the top side, and again, no mana. Didn't get the recall, easy kill there for the Graves.
Oh boy, Bin, a lot of LPL top laners are incredible carry talents, but they are also sometimes not very respectful of map states or when they are starting to lose. So we'll see. He's still trying to push his lead. It's not over yet during this time as well, given that Kai Wing was out of lane. RNG will respond to the bot lane, funnel a lot of gold into Gala. That kill that Unified, that went down on Unified as well, hurt his CSing. This is hurting his CSing. He's getting dumpstered in CS right now.
Yeah, White Gun of Helios is just smacking the tower, popping all the plates off of it. Wade's going to steal the red buff away. RNG full control of this bottom side for now, it feels like. And again, when Xiaohu's going to have perm, will probably always have threat in these lanes. Whenever Xiaohu dips down to maybe join Wei, PSG have to show respect. And it already feels like the isolated 2v2 is not looking so hot right now. So a lot of eggs in the Hanabi basket right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad situation. Obviously, you don't want to fall behind. But in terms of team comps, with a marksman falling behind, this is not as Gala.
Nice cleanse, a little either late or Glacial Augment's really good. But Xiaohu's going into Bay once again. Bay already popped the ulti though. Xiaohu has Ignite, has Flash, he's going for it, gets the chain, lands a max rage. 1v1 once again, and Xiaohu's gonna find it, but the tower is gonna pick up the revenge.
Not a fair fight with the structure for coming in big for Bay there, keeping him even in the trade, but you see Xiaohu's power. They do trade flashes, so you're kind of happy for Bay if you're removing a lot of the aggression. Ignite down, flash down, 1 for 1, not so bad. The bot lane play, what I was about to get into in terms of compositions, Unified is not really the primary carry of this team. The MF will do a lot of damage, but so will Graves, so will Hanabi on the Vladimir pick. There's plenty of damage in the team comp, so of the times that your marksman's down 20 CS about, it's not so bad.
All right, well, some top side control arrested, or continued, I suppose, here for PSG. As they will start this Rift Herald up. Xiaohu wants to get in there, so does Wei by the looks of things. Going to take out these Raptors and walk on over. Already pretty low though, just going to have to be a steal attempt unless they can delay. The Rift Herald's already a little bit too low. Wei really wants to get in there, but he's not going to be able to. What's it going to cost? Not much right now. Bay going to get stunned up, goes over the wall. Leona not that tanky as the W and the Aftershock are going to wear off. Doesn't have Aftershock either, so going to make it extra hard to get access to that rune. And RNG, they poke and prod, but they don't get much.
Yeah, a little 4v4 there over the Rift Herald. Still comes out in PSG's favor. They do lose the flash on Kai Wing. They got split a little bit in that fight where Juhan and Bay, or excuse me, Juhan and Hanabi wanted to exit through the blue buff ramp, so close. You're happy to get the Rift Herald, probably worth the flash if you can get a good charge off and start accelerating. Most likely Hanabi is the one that you want to keep funneling this gold into right now. It's going to be hard to get a good charge off against Xiaohu unless they get a kill beforehand or a good gank off.
Xiao continuing to poke here, but Bay weathering the storm has kind of evened up the CS, hasn't had too many problems. Way up to the top side this time around. Nice pull. Being going to whiff the ulti as a result. So Wei will give it up, but Hanabi may be forced back once again.
I think it's a tough matchup, definitely. Hanabi's doing an okay job, has been traded out a few times, but has gotten his shots in when he can, and has made it difficult to get ganked. I mean, that's the one thing Vladimir is usually the safest at. It's kind of hard to get a kill off on him with another person coming in, but 1v1 is still very tough in this matchup.
Yeah, Bin going for it. Can't dive though, unfortunately. Ooh, take it back?
No, you shouldn't take it back. He cannot dive back, as you see him having to flash out. I'm not quite sure if he misread a cooldown or what, but especially with Hanabi's empowered Q coming back up, that kill was not ever going to go in his way there. Bin is, I'll be honest, having a bit of a sloppy game. I think a couple plays in a row now, making it a little bit easier for PSG than otherwise the pressure from Xiaohu would make you believe.
Ming and Wei roaming on in to try and get themselves a bit of pressure. Ming also sticking around. They're just going to drop a wall there for Xiaohu as the mid lane pressure continues. As a reminder though, don't forget to grab your exclusive Scare Prize Prime Gaming emotes. You can strut when you flash in and turn a fight around, as PSG maybe going to look to do here in just a mo.
Scare Prize! Chat spam Scare Prize!
I like Scare Prize, but it doesn't quite work, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Alright, well, what's happening here? Xiaohu getting aggressed on. Lissandra ulti at the ready, not going for it just yet.
Xiaohu showing he's not too scared, doing the S walk. I'm not quite sure if there's another name for it, you know, but it's that kind of stutter walk where you're pressing S as you go, like, I'm gonna actually need to run away, but I will walk away.
Trying to find the perfect time to just stop.
Yeah.
Juke in place.
All the league things you can make sound like a dance move. The S walk is one of them.
All right, well, Bin back at it again. TS leader is going to keep fighting Hanabi here. Great stone. What a wonderful lineup there. Bin's, again, like, really clean on this pick. But
it's so funny because he'll dominate trades. He'll look so good and then just get a little over-eager and maybe use an ability when he shouldn't have or go in a little bit too soon, not respect a map movement. You can tell the talent is there. It's just sometimes like, come on, be a little bit more forward-thinking.
Yeah, I like that Wei's, I think, decided that, okay, I get it. I'm going to just start covering top basically permanently because Bin is a player we can push our advantage around. Bei a little low. Wei on the Kaiwing there. As Kaiwing whipped out the solo player, but Xiaohu's trying to cut off Bei here as RNG looking to take control again. Continue to give Bin support. Gal is fine on his own. In the bottom side is collecting farm.
Yeah, that was a bit fortunate for Kaiwing to actually not have landed all his abilities there because, like you said, Xiaohu cut off Bei, and then there was the inside track as well for Ming. It would have been a 2v1, so Kaiwing fortunate to have missed there. Now they're actually going to get that drop on mid lane. Wasn't sure if they're going to be able to do it. It won't get them the turret, but you can funnel some gold into Bei, who has been struggling a little bit. Get that gold. And I like your call also about Wei hovering topside, given that hold on. This one a little bit closer with the ult still up for Bin.
I mean, pulls up for Hanabi. Like, it's just, you can't, can you finish your all-in, I guess is the question, because you're obviously winning the trades in the 1v1. Also, we have a dragon to consider here. No TP for Bin, no TP at all ever for Hanabi. So, going to be a 4v4 at best if the teams want to scuffle. And PSG are going to give it up. RNG grab that first, second dragon, in fact, for themselves.
Yeah, decent restraint there by PSG. I think Xiao, who had the inside track, controlled mid lane, so if they did go in, he would get there much quicker. So they kind of want to go. They watch them leave menacingly, but right decision not to go in.
So, we are here now, 14 minutes through. Look at the gold. It is up for RNG, but it is less than 1,000 gold. That is a good thing for PSG as far as early game goes. You have not fallen super far behind. And I don't think you pick these picks to dominate the early game and try and win that way.
No, 1,000 gold deficit is a totally acceptable deficit when you look at the two comps and what they want to do. The concern is RNG is a great mid to late game team fighting team, so it's not really like they're sweating either. They do have the dragon stacking in their favor. They also have the ability to 1-3-1. Their comp can kind of do a little bit more than PSG's can. Yes, if Hanabi had gotten far ahead, it would be difficult, but I don't think he's dominated enough to... Ooh, a little disrespectful there.
Once again, Hanabi just chilling. Conqueror active. Passive up. Hanabi's just going to shrug it off.
Oh, I didn't even realize this. The runestone choice for Hanabi, a little different than you usually see on Vladimir's, unless I'm out of date with my tech.
Little area action. Ooh, 1v1. Beautiful stun. Viego's pretty good, but not good enough to get out of that situation. And now they're going to keep on going. Bei going to find the ulti onto Ming. Ming got flash, but Xiaohu is diving on it. Here comes Bin to maybe make a big fight happen. Hanabi, a target he can pick up here, but he doesn't have it yet. Xiaohu diving on in, looking for the play, but can't get it. Bin, ulti's onto Bei, but it's a bit of a mess here in the skirmish as Kaiwing sticking around to try and provide some CC, and somehow everyone on PSG is going to live.
Surprised to see PSG get out safely, even secure their blue buff on the way out. You see some of the power of their comp being able to lock down so many members. Wei not able to get out. Find that one clean kill. And then skedaddle out. Still pressure for RNG on the back end of that fight. Bei does leak to mid lane though to grab that turret, while Bin will probably be able to grab the top side one.
Very nice move there for PSG. That's the first tower gold as well.
Can't even get that.
Picking that up. Gala finds Kaiwing. Nice little ward there, spotting him over the wall. Again, some of this topside pressure, Xiaohu likely wanting to leave. PSG has been sticking to the mid tower, and they will manage to get it down. I guess the Herald in mid too also.
Both teams not ready to give up on that top side, though. Instantly back to the second Rift Herald.
Yeah, not with the Herald up. Teams are going to be wanting to scrap. Gala is not in the correct position, wants to get the tower trade instead. Will get it, but RNG will now know that Unified is almost assuredly where he is, and they'll see him very shortly as the mid wave's going to spot him. So we'll take a look here once more.
Yeah, Kai Wing's Leona is absolutely filthy. He's been smurfing on this champion for years now and just able to snipe out Wei, then gets the follow. Just keeps him CC'd up for Juhan to just beat him up with it. Nicely done there. Bei as well, forcing them to kind of turn into them. Well played by RNG to save that situation when it looked like Ming might just get exploded. The turn back, forcing everyone low. And well played by everyone as we see second Rift Herald drop top lane, trying to blow this turret up now.
Yeah, it was comfortably soloed in the replay there by Juhan. Bin, is going to go ahead and take away all of the wave, but of course Shelly completes the charge. And that's an easy tower take there for PSG, who are going to equalize the gold off the back of that.
Yeah, that's a pretty impressive little trade of plays there. Secretly, silently, Gala has been getting farmed up. He's kind of the ticking time bomb in a sense of this game, where we've been talking a lot about PSG's team fight and how strong that is. Though the strongest DPS champion in the game, you could argue, is Gala on the Aphelios. Late game can be absolutely disgusting, and a bit of an insurance policy for them that if PSG go in and they blow all their CC on the super mobile carries of the LeBlanc, and you gotta stop the Aurelia from jumping all over you, suddenly there's no CC left potentially for Gala to kind of carry that team fight. So a lot of threats for PSG, but they also have a lot of tools to deal with them.
Bin still going at it 1v1, by the way. Xiaohu continuing the roams. Wei Ming going to join on in. It's a potential 3v3, although never mind, because Gala is sticking in the mid lane as RNG wants to open up this map a little bit more, keep the gold lead heading in the right direction for them. They were ahead. They're now even, but they have some standing gold to potentially take. And Bin does have a long lane he could maybe play to in the bottom side, but sticking to the top for now, has the teleport advantage. Dragons up in 30 seconds. RNG, the simple plan for them is going to be just stacking these dragons and winning team fights, which they're very good at.
I like PSG's decision here, though, to start bringing the Vladimir down early. You know, you don't want to get onto Soul Point. You want to start contesting them a little bit before then. Your comp is mostly online. Your big items are mostly done. You can team fight from here, so they want to stop this dragon stacking immediately, but it's tough to work their way in.
Yeah, RNG again, very aggressive defense here, very far forward. Kai Wing maybe has an angle here for Gala. Gale forces out, very nicely done.
All right, PSG have bought their entrance to the river with Leona's ultimate. That's one CC down. Does get the Gale Force, but it's still very difficult to find a target for them right now.
They're baiting for a fight. Like, Wei's not even in the pit, just throwing out stuns. They're trying to find an angle here. RNG going to abuse the vision they have here, and Gala starts up the dragon. Wei's like, okay, here we go. Into the pit. As PSG now know, RNG are trying to take this dragon. Oh my goodness, Hanabi blown up almost completely. 100-0'd by Xiaohu, but Hanabi does actually get the kill on the back end of it. RNG will get the dragon, and thankfully it's only one death.
Very ballsy by Hanabi there, knowing that he had his ultimate coming in, that he was going to be able to get back up, gets his empowered Q off to stay alive through the ignite. Well played, kills Xiaohu, but an acceptable trade, I think, for RNG, knowing that while Xiaohu's running this kind of distraction, that there's no way for them to contest the dragon. They get their third of the game. Putting RNG, funnily enough, in a position to finish their dragon stacking against the team comp. Here you see again, just a nice trade there. As soon as Hanabi goes in, Xiaohu's like, all right, I'm going to kill you. But, you know, there you see the empowered Q come in. Also, the healing as well. Stays alive through the ultimate. And during that time, though, everyone was chasing him. There's the dragon snatched up.
Nice enough for RNG. They'll hold on to the dragon lead, but gold is staying even. Hanabi can feel the power of the Vlad as the fights kind of get a little bit closer. Bin is...
This is probably the best game of the tournament so far. This one is very touch and go. Two team comps with different ideas. People playing well. Like, this is a sick game.
Let's see what it delivers in 3 minutes and 46 seconds.
Well, so this is the one advantage for RNG's favors. There's different windows you have to respect from people. This is definitely an RNG window, and they have a little bit more map pressure. PSG want to be able to collapse onto a side lane and kill one of these people that are pushing for the 1-3-1. But they're going to have to work through a lot of vision control because the 1-3-1 will often be there first. They'll be able to be a little bit more self-sufficient with their laners to get wards out, so you have to clear them before you can realistically kill them, and it's this push and pull that's going to happen around the map. And RNG are so good at it.
Yeah, this to me is part of the play here. How strong has been? The answer is very. almost solos out Hanabi there. Hanabi committed the ulti as well. And now PSG looking for counterplay. Weighs the target, but he bounces away. Yuhan, for what it's worth, quite strong. 3 kills, 2 items done, including the Mythic. A lot of damage on this Graves of Xiaohu. Again, this 1-3-1 we talked about. Navigating nicely, takes this out. Can he get himself ulted? Pop back? No, not yet. Ooh. Gets away.
Just on the very maximum of that range, but with his ultimate up, and I think both charges the W, very intelligent by PSG to realize, like, just call this play off. It's never going to happen. They did try and find that window around the ward, the sweeper by Bay, but RNG grabbed the turret back out. They're safe. This push and pull coming in favor of them. The other thing that's nice about a 1-3-1 is it can often give you better vision control around the objective ahead of time. You saw that in the last Dragon fight where they were kind of able to hug the red buff brushed right there and make it very difficult for PSG to even get into their own jungle to then get into the river. So RNG are very difficult to play against. This is why I was saying, like, even though their team fight comp is arguably worse than a straight front-to-back team fight, what is the likelihood RNG gives you that fight? Like, probably close to 0.
Single-digit integer, I think. Not a lot.
Yeah.
Because RNG, this is like the cerebralness of this team, right? We know about the team fights, we know about the hands. It's going to be a lot about how they play the map, how they are so good at that. Xiaohu kind of at the helm as far as the brains of the operation, but of course the whole team has to be on board.
Yeah, Ming as well, one of the legends, able to
pretty good.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Definitely going to help the team. The shot calling, especially around mid lane of the 1-3-1, it's an important part that sometimes gets overlooked for the flashy LeBlanc and the Irelia on the side lane, but making sure that your Aphelios is always safe, always has vision to make sure that he doesn't get caught out of position is an important part for the support there.
PSG getting in early. Ooh, hello. Found Xiaohu. Hiding in the bush, hoping only one squishier champion would walk by. No luck.
Not the case. PSG doing a good job staying in formation. It's one of the things that, while watching Order play, there were too many times the Nautilus was ahead of the Poppy. You want to make sure that when you're doing your vision control, even if you're grouped up as 3, if one of you is in the wrong position, the LeBlanc will still kill you. So making sure that your Leona is the one in front with her W on is pretty critical.
Well, of course, all that kind of back and forth is potentially for vision around this upcoming dragon is the Infernal Soul for RNG. If they can grab it, they're here in a little under a minute, making sure to get that deep vision happening nice and early. There is this mid-outer turret here, so PSG don't have to walk a very far distance to get to the objective, but RNG, as you mentioned, very good at even controlling the enemy opposition, enemy territory, when they're trying to set up for these objectives.
Well, and that teleport that they have in the top lane, they have the option to sack this dragon right now for almost no deficit and continue funneling gold. Bay is actually one to go match because he has the TP here. So let's be careful.
Yeah, Bin potentially has some threat there in the 1v1, but is just going to go ahead and move down. Been starting to walk now, recalling, probably has an item spike to purchase here.
The problem with this mismatch, though, is now your LeBlanc is unfazed by the Lissandra. The concern is normally Lissandra's there if LeBlanc goes in. She gets insta-rooted. Hold on!
Oh, that's nice onto wave. Posted up the ulti early, but Ming eating a lot of damage there from the bullet time. Ming finds the dunk. Bin not going to join the fight as RNG scattered to the wind as Unified forced to get away. He got bursted down, so he has to run. But the team fight is going to be won as Bin caught out in a 1v4 that he cannot navigate. PSG need to deny this dragon. Waze may be ready with the seal, but no flash, no ult. You can't get this. That's dragon for PSG. They stave off the soul.
The legendary Kaiwing Leona pops off again in that team fight. Does not find the initial kill onto Wei, but blows up the battle lines in their favor to allow them into the river there. And that gets them the dragon. That stalls it out. Also eats the teleport and flash out of Bin.
Look where Unified had to go, by the way. No way you know this, Xiaohu.
Oh! There's a brief window where even if you take damage, the teleport will complete. I believe it's 0.25 seconds. Yeah, it's 2.25. Yeah, that is such a tight window for Xiaohu. He almost had it. So here you go. This is Leona just being like, you're going to backstep out of the brush. You're in the brush, you're going to backstep a little bit. Such an intelligent placement of the ultimate there by Kaiwing. Forces way back, blows up the battle lines. Xiaohu goes on to Unified to try and stop the ultimate. And Unified, oh my god, the guts on this guy to just channel his ult, to say, yeah, if you kill me, great, go for it. But I'm going to drop my damage out in this team fight. He chunked so many members low that the 4-man of PSG could actually win the fight on that side despite Xiaohu nearly killing him. And then he gets out for it too. So much gumption to just sit there with a LeBlanc jumping on top of you, just still unloading.
Game still very tight, 500 gold between these two teams. It's Baron on the menu now as the Dragons down for 4 more minutes. PSG starting off the objective. RNG, they know what's up now. They throw control ward over, but can they navigate? Bin is not here. This Baron is so low.
Yeah, here comes Wei though.
It's fight or bust. You have to go in. Wei! He found the Baron steal! Disgusting! disgusting maneuver for RNG.
There was absolutely no vision over the wall for PSG. I was about to call it out that Wei can come in from any angle. They're not exactly sure where he's going to come from. They don't know when he's going to get over the wall. They knew he didn't have flash, would have to commit his ultimate to do it. So I understand the idea, but PSG needs to have vision over the wall so a Lissandra can lock him down. That's the entire point of that play, is that the Viego should not be able to get over the wall if you have vision, but great pink ward coverage by RNG denies PSG the option to stop that steal attempt. And Wei is just too good, man, getting that one away.
Smooth steal there for Wei. Gets in, gets out nice and cleanly. As RNG are going to have a big, actually a very big golden. Like, this is the biggest lead in this game, and it just comes off the back of stealing the Baron.
Well, and it's just monstrous for a 1-3-1 comp to get a free Baron, in a sense, because now what PSG did so well, what they've been working for all game, is gone. RNG can now split the map. It's so hard to move around against the Baron buffs. The minions are just always so hard to clear, and they can kind of force this to happen. Bay is doing what he can.
Going to be a pretty impactful Red Bull Baron, though, as Wei dips on in. Bay thought about maybe finding an angle onto Gala, but Bloodthirster done. Gala's actually pretty safe with all his sums up as well. Has the team behind him, of course. Here's Bin. It's been a nuisance. Level 16 on the Aurelia. 2 items done. Death Stance now finished. And Zhao, who's guiding these waves in up against Hanabi, can just kind of sit here with the minions. Let them hang out.
Yeah, it can't be stopped 1v1. And you can see PSG is also getting pulled in the bot lane. You just got to pick which objectives you want to give up, because you're going to lose some, no matter what. And for PSG, it's about stemming the bleeding, picking which ones you want to lose, so that when the Dragon's up in 2 minutes, Baron buff's off, you're not so far behind that you can't win that fight.
Wade barely sliding on out of there. This time, Kaiwing's Luna doesn't find the angle, but does get the slow, makes it close to Xiaohu getting chased down. Vladimir ready to go, 2 items and still running after Xiaohu. Believe the ulti's down, it is indeed, and Xiaohu's dipping away. He's trying to find a way out. The LeBlanc clone's there, and Hanabi knows he doesn't carry, channels the E, finds the solo, kicks Xiaohu out of the top lane.
All right, well, never mind. I guess he can hold him 1v1. Was able to get that kill. Looked like I thought for a second there Xiaohu was going to be out. I was surprised to see him take the clone back, but maybe there was some more ghost time left up that I was going to get chased down no matter what. I trust Xiaohu to have known better than me if he was dead or not when he went back there. And nice by Hanabi to stem the pressure. Now you can see they get this push in the mid lane. They're able to stop that from going down. Here's that Baron steal again. Just that pink ward over the wall is very annoying. They have no way of knowing that Wei just came flying in there, and oh. God. Oh, you know that they're so sad about that one. Even the ultimate by Juhan came out that he just kind of yeeted that one out there, trying to make sure that he gets as much damage onto the Baron. It was just a pure burst situation, and Wei won that.
I sit on there for RNG, but obviously daggers for PSG, who are still in this game. Baron is worn off. We got this Dragon to fight for in 25 seconds. Once again, PSG will be put to the call. Can you defend this soul once again?
We'll have to see. In terms of summoners, most are back up from the previous Dragon fight. The only ones losing them were the 2 people in the top lane. Probably favors RNG a little bit. LeBlanc without Flash, not as big of a deal as Vladimir without Ghost Ignite.
Zhao's got Death Cap.
Uh-oh.
As another face check coming again, locking them down. Ming just ripped to bits there. Do commit the ulti, though, out of MF. And there is Burst still on the table for RNG.
Yeah, maybe a couple too many resources blown up for just the set support. There's still so many members of RNG you have to be worried about.
Coming again, going in. Weighs the target now. They're going to try and find a Zhao who's so late on the flank. But here he comes. Gala moves in. It's a shutdown for Zhao. Gala lets it rip with the Infernum guns, and Bin chases down the kill as RNG navigate the fight. Rip PSG to pieces. That's going to be the ace. That's going to be the Infernal Soul. That might be the game for RNG.
RNG with the counter attack right back onto PSG after they jump onto Wei. He's been the target in so many of these team fights, baited them all in, able to get back out. And just such a monstrous turn. This is what we've been talking about, that there's so many threats of RNG. If you lose track of them, you're going to be in deep trouble. The game might be over here. 10, 15 seconds up. They're already through the bot inhibitors.
Yeah, damage is done. I mean, there's a big wave in the top side as well. Kaiwing's up now. Unified's up soon. 5 seconds on Yuhan. They're going to take out 1 tower at least. RNG, it's going to be a long start to the tournament for them. They want to go straight to bed if they can. They're going to try and finish off this game. Bin ripping through the last turret, tanking in the front side for Wei, who's taken over the Leona because Kaiwing's dead again. Yuhan now getting up step by the Viego as Bin dancing around, trying to make it happen. They need to hold the line. Bin gets a nice stun, but he doesn't find the rest, and the Fountain Lace is too close. RNG, they wanted to end this game. Instead, Hanabi's going to chase them down. Gala just dies to 1Q, and Wei, likely not so lucky either, has the ulti. Going to try and play for the bait. The outplay, in fact, is the call! Double stasis, that's gonna favor Hanabi, and he gets the kill.
All right, PSG staying alive, but they've lost all their inhibs. You can see the pings already going down on RNG about the Nexus, but they have no wards drop. Nothing actually that close to the base. They're only gonna have minions up. Not really any TPs available anyway, so probably no backdoor shenanigans. It's just about this Baron in 20 seconds. Zhao, who's back alive, 20 for most of the rest of his carries. Can PSG do something? Because if you can't get this Baron, triple inhibs Baron is very hard to defend against, even if you're playing team fights well.
Yeah. Minions kind of do the work for you in a lot of cases. Zhao's in the bush.
Zhao might be going for a backdoor. He might be letting them go to the Baron. It's a risky call. I can see where they're coming from, though. Or he's just going to blow people up.
Yeah, flank time. Again, Zhao does a lot of damage right now. Baron also has some extra gold. Zhao is here. Now he has to get here early, because he knows that, like, you got to get off the Baron. Also, they have Infernal Soul, by the way.
So the problem was both solo laners for PSG had to stay because the minions are just too strong, which means that it's a 3v2, and you cannot stop Xiaohu with just 3 members.
Look at the Q of the Leona with W active. Kawing takes a huge chunk of damage.
Yeah, just...
Look at him go!
He's going to do it again!
It's a kill! It's 2 buttons! He pressed 2 buttons! And Kawing just... poof, done. Baron's over, RNG. Strolling on down to try and end the game.
Infernal Solar Block, pretty strong, especially in Zhaohu's hands, who has been incredible all game long. Kind of the man they've kept our eyes on, controlled most of the game. Now he's keeping PSG locked in their base.
Yep. Minion waves will arrive in short order. Zhao is going to keep on poking. He didn't take that much damage that time, but Sandra decently tanky, has the Zhonya's. But again, the next is open. Zhao is just like, yep, I will start clicking on it. I have a decent amount of HP.
Oh my
I explode your jungler. He does not exist. And now Hanabi's in stasis. Bay is trying to lock up another. That's a decent ulti, but they're going to dive back through RNG. Are going to finally win the team fight they need to open up the enemy nexus. Way looking for more KDA at the end of it all. And RNG will remain undefeated.
RNG moving to 3-0, 6-0, depending on your perspective. They have not dropped a game thus far at MSI. That was maybe the closest game they've played, though. PSG, you can see it on their faces, knowing how close they were to crawling back into control of that game. That Baron flip just went in Wei's favor. It's a different game if they got that one.
Yeah, a very tense game the whole way through. And even with the Baron, I felt like PSG kept fighting. Hanabi was feeling strong. Like the 5v5 was there. Like, if they kept them off the Infernal Soul, if they'd find some better engagements, they were winnable team fights, even in that situation. But RNG navigated so well.
Yeah, RNG was incredible in this game. I think it was a very hard comp for them to play against in the team fights, given that the early game was hit or miss. I think Ben had some oopsies in lane phase, but was pretty good outside of there. And I think for the side of PSG, the loss to Red Cannons to start the tournament instantly soured them in a lot of people's minds, but I think this game should cement them as the ones probably heading into Rumble stage that you have to keep your eye on, that you have to be scared about. I mean, technically, I think they are qualified.
You're looking at the wrong human.
I'm looking at you.
Yeah,
Maybe you don't know.